Welcome back to the 14th episode of Learn Portuguese with me. So we're gonna start the timer, 88 hours. Crazy. Yeah, we're gonna start straight in. And I think we cooled down from last episode. It was pretty quick, pretty intense, but we also got a lot of input. So the last thing, maybe you see there is a new thing. We see. But yeah, the last thing from the last episode was these sentences, okay? So we're gonna check them real quick and see what we get. Oops. Here are the corrections. Okay, we're gonna start straight in. 1 minute in and already in the translation. Alright. O hobby favorito do João é passar tempo com seus amigos ou brincar com eles. O hobby favorito do João é passar. Okay. This is infinitive. Tempo. Com os seus. Okay, the definite article. Yeah, okay. Is missing. This is special in Portuguese that you use the definite article before the possessive pronoun. E brincar. So again the infinitive, but otherwise it looks pretty good. After. Okay. Yeah, is like his favorite hobby is like passing time. It's not his favorite hobby is pastime. His favorite hobby is pastime with his friend. No. His favorite hobby is passing time. So actually the infinitive. And more in European Portuguese. But let me check this. Yeah, this is in European Portuguese, but maybe not in the casual slang. So I have a question to the first sentence. I forgot the definite article os seus amigos. So in Portuguese, you have to use the definite article before the possessive pronoun. This is in other languages maybe different. I think this isn't in Portuguese. I think it's in Italian. It's like la mia famiglia. But yeah, if this is in fact right, okay? So you have to use the definite article. How is this in real spoken language, especially how young people talk? Do they also use the definite article? So maybe this is just grammatically correct, but I also want to get into how people really speak. European Portuguese, the definite article before the possessive pronoun is the normal, everyday way of speaking. Okay, a minha família. Okay, including everyday way of speaking. If a young person in Portugal says, vou com os meus amigos, that sounds completely neutral. Can you omit it? Sometimes, but it's much less common and often sounds literary, formal, or appears in... Okay, actually when you leave this out, this sounds literary. Because oftentimes it's the complete opposite. Famiglia, Italian, la mia famiglia, ma famille. Make it a habit to say article post. Okay. Okay. So we won't omit it. Alright, second sentence. João, o João, okay, not João, gosta de ler. So this was right. This was the infinitive, not conjugated as up there. Porque ele aprende coisas novas e imagina lugar novo. Ler porque aprende. Okay, this is... Aprender. Okay, this is conjugated, I think, but it's not with an A, it's with an E. So it's... Let me check this mic for minutes. for a minute, no, for a moment. So it's pretty much like aprender. I don't know if it's aprendir. No, it's aprender, I think, aprender. So, yeah, I. Sometimes you think it's maybe aprendar, ar, and not aprender. So it's I. Here's also I, but I don't think it's aprendir. Alright. Porque aprende coisas novas. This was written right, nice. E imaginar lugar. Okay, this is just the plural. Yeah, plural. Usual is more natural than just joie at the beginning. Oh, I forgot the definite article. Yeah, actually. Na praia, João, again, definite article, e sua família aproveitam seu tempo livre e uso. Sick. This was actually right. Crazy. I'd give this 8.5 out of 10. Crazy, but this was very, very fast and very just auf. In German you say, ich habe das jetzt auf den letzten Drücker gemacht, ich bin ein Aufschieber. Ich habe das auf den letzten Drücker gemacht. Ich bin ein Aufschieber. It's just this. I did it at the last minute. Yeah. In Germany, this doesn't mean I did this in the last minute. This is more like I have done this on the last press. But this is how German sometimes is, okay? This is quite, how to say this? Literary? Or, yeah, like with a lot of stylistic, I don't know how to say this. Let me check this. Because this will also be very interesting to know, because also like in Portuguese we will learn about these things, because like in Italian I think you can say in bocca al lupo, it means like in the mouth of a wolf, and I think this is pretty common, but actually in the mouth it means like when you have luck, I think, but in the mouth of a wolf is crazy. But really try to analyze your own language and how you talk, and there you oftentimes find these expressions. Which expressions? I don't know the right name for this. For the idiom, okay? Yeah, chat. In German, you say, ich habe das auf den letzten Drücker gemacht. And if you translate it, it won't be I did it at the last minute, because it would be more like I did it at the last press or something like this. How to call these things? Are these idioms like it's like a metaphor or like a stylistic kind of expressing this? Yeah, because for Portuguese, you have to know some of these expressions. First, to sound really native, and second, or most important, to understand the other people. Hit the sack. Avoir le coffre. In book. In the mouse wolf. Yeah, in bocca al lupo. Ultima d'ora. At the last of the hour. Hit the bed. Hit the sack. To have the cockroach. Okay. Exactly. The linguistic term you're looking for is idiom or idiomatic expression. An idiom is a fixed expression whose meaning cannot be understood literally from the individual words. And this is exactly what I meant. And this is important. Maybe not from the first hour when learning a language, otherwise it can be really confusing. But time by time, we're gonna look at different idioms and related terms, idioms, metaphor, proverb. Yeah, also idiomatic expression. All right. But yeah, these were pretty good. All right. So we are done with the next chapter. Crazy. How time is passing. And yeah. Do we go now to the 8th chapter? Not now, but soon, because in this episode we are gonna look at the most important 100 Portuguese verbs. Okay? So I created this list and we're gonna make a check. We also for comparison to later hours, but also to study this a little bit now and see what we know, what we can learn, and to get a reference point for the future, okay? So we have, pretty much the most common 100 verbs, and we're gonna check these if we know these. Okay, ser is like to be, all right? Eu sou estudante. I am a student. Estar, to be. Estou em casa. Ter, to have. Tenho tempo ruim. Oh my god, this pronunciation again. How many times do I have to say this again? I don't know. Fazer is like to make, to do. Faço exercício todos os dias. I don't know if I actually should. This is hard. Ir, to go. Maybe we can look at these sentences if we don't know the translation, and if we can maybe deduce. What was again the word? Herleiten, deduce. Herleiten, derive. Where this word derives from. Okay, poder, to can, or can, to can. This is funny. Wait, okay. Wait. This was not. I didn't want to do this, but can. Why don't you say to can? And I never really heard it. So let me check this. This is interesting. Maybe we get a little gem out of this for our learning. So you say to go, to swim, to be, but do you say to can? Have you ever heard to can? Don't say to can. There is to be able to. Yeah, to be able to. I too can swim. I too. Don't watch Aito. I want to be. Okay. Also, I can. Okay, crazy. To be able to. Dizer is to say. Ver is to see. Dar is, I think, to give. Livro. So this is I give a book to João, to the João. Okay, dar is en fait. Fato. Okay. So I found a new word which we're gonna need, and we actually was pretty helpful to arrange this, because it's like in fact or actually. There you say either en fait en français, or you say in fatto, in italiano, but we're gonna check this with en fait, in fact, actually. How to say in fact or actually in Portuguese? I think on faz. Na verdade.
Na verdade.
De facto.
De facto.
De facto. De facto. I think this is for now nice. De facto. Okay. So we wanted to look at. Do you see how this table is really helping us all the time? And it is missing. And it is actually missing. Give me a table of the 20 most important irregular verbs. Maybe we need an upgrade. Maybe we need an upgrade. For now. Yeah, but give me this table with all 6 forms. So first person, second person, third person, and singular and plural. So there is dar, du, dash, da. So it's like, it looks like so. It's like oh. Okay. This is also pretty irregular, say. This is pretty easy. This is usually my... Yeah, but give me all 6. So also the second person plural, even though this is not commonly used. I don't know if this is necessary. Maybe it is really not often used. So, right. I think we got... I think we got an upgrade. Okay, so it's like do. All right. So, saber do livro João. Saber is like sapere, like to know. Sabemos a resposta. We know the answer, maybe. Querer is to want. Quiero aprender português. I want to learn Portuguese. Chegar, from the 12th episode, it was like chegar is like first person singular is chego, and it was like to arrive. Yeah, chegamos cedo. Chegamos cedo. And if you haven't been there, if you haven't been there in the 12th episode, I want to show you again who Shigo is and what is my... How to say this? In Germany we say Eselsbrücke. Mnemonic device.
Mnemonic device.
Mnemonic device.
Dispositivo mnemônico.
Mnemonico. Okay. Yeah, because we got this. Okay. And this is Shigo. And I don't know if you know her, but she is from Kim Possible. And this is like 20 years ago already. And we had the idea in the 12th episode that Shigar, like chegar, and the first person singular is chego, and actually chego is written like chego, but when she arrives, there are problems, okay? Okay, so this was our mnemonic device. Oh, mnemonic device. To arrive. Ficar is being located. Okay, it's to stay. It's more like to stay. Fico aqui hoje. I stay here today. Dever is like must or have to. Or yeah, must. Should, must, okay. Deves descansar. Descansar. You have to descansar, relax, maybe. Passar is to spend. Passamos muito tempo juntos. We are spending a lot of time together. Encontrar is like to encounter or to meet. To find, to meet, okay, but also to find. This is interesting. Encontro os meus amigos. I meet my friends. Deixar. Crazy. I never have seen this word, deixar. Deixo a janela aberta. So a janela aberta is like an open window. So deixa should be I close, to close. Okay. This is crazy. Let us maybe just highlight these words we actually don't know. And if we're gonna look at this list in the future, we're gonna see, okay, this was not quite obvious back then. So, levar is like, do we need this? I don't think so, because levar is like to go down or to settle or to not to settle. It's more like to go down, to take. Okay, so it was quite right. the accidental intuition. Comer is like to eat. No, it's like to begin. Yeah, but this I should actually know. Comer. Okay. We see comerciar, but this is to eat. Partir is to begin. No, partir, yeah. Partir is actually to... Yeah, okay. Comer, to eat. Beber, also to drink. Viver is viva la vida. Maybe you know the Coldplay song, Viva la vida. And yeah, it's like to live. Aprender is to learn. We encountered so many times this word, also like estudar is like to study. Trabar is like trabajo, like from Spanish, to work. And this is also in Italian it's different. It's lavorando, lavorare. And in France it's like travail. Je devrais travailler maintenant. Abrir is like, I think, to open. Abre a porta. Porta is like the door, I think. Fechar. I don't know. Fechar janela. Maybe close? This is close? Yeah, but this was more... this has been deriven from this translation. I actually don't know the word. And yeah, it started pretty good, but now I think it will be very devastating if we don't know any of these following words. Entrar, yeah, okay, to go in, but I think they will get more difficult. Sair is like to leave. Yeah. Ouvir. This looks like ouvrir, and this would be to open. But I think we encountered this sometimes, and it was like ouvrir música, so it's to listen. Here to listen. Ouvimos música, okay, like this. Falar, to speak. Falamos português. Ler is like to read. Leio livro. Escrever is like... I now read these. Escrever, yeah, is to write. Comprar, to buy. Vender is to sell. Okay. Vendem fruto. All right. Usar is like to use. Use. Pretty easy from the English. Ajudar, also we encountered, to help. Esperar. So we're gonna not wanna look at these straight, at the translation, at the sentence, but I think esperar is like to await. To wait, maybe? To wait. Okay, nice. What was the sentence? Espero. Pelo. We encountered pela, but pelo is just with the definite article masculine. Pela was definite article feminine. Autocarro. O. So masculine. I wait for the car. Or autocarro could also be bus, I think. But I don't know. Andar, to go. Or to walk. More like walk. Correr is to run. Correre. Dormir is to sleep. Acordar is, I think we encountered also, is like to wake up. This is not that easy. It doesn't look like any Italian or French word or English or German, but we encountered already. So it's to wake up. Gostar is to like, yeah, and we saw this. Amare. Amares. This is really to laugh. Pensar is to think. Conhecer is like jemand kennenlernen, würde man in Deutschen sagen. You would say in German, jemand kennenlernen. So, to know somebody or to get to know somebody. To know, to meet, okay. Perguntar is like, I think, preguntas. From Spanish, even though I know almost non-Spanish, it's like preguntas. Preguntas is like the question. So this should be to ask. Responder is pretty easy. To respond, to answer. Procurar, I think we encountered in the previous chapter. It was like to worry. To look for. Pro. Okay. We're at 50 already. Achar. It looks like the French word like acheter. And this means to buy. To think, to find. Okay. Ashuke. Yeah, we encountered ashuke. Okay. This was kind of like a false friend. So sometimes even the French and the Italian doesn't help you. And maybe trick you, actually. Pregar is like to need. I need help. I don't know. I forget. Okay. Some words you just have to learn. But time by time, maybe we will encounter this in more difficult stories and then it will be easy. Lembrar. Lembro-me disso. I don't know. Remember what I said. I remember me. I don't know. Escola. Maybe it looks like escola, like school, and this maybe listen, to choose. Okay. Receber un message. Maybe to send, to receive. Okay. Mandar, mandar, to take, or to make, to shoot a photo, to send. Yeah, happens. As I said and thought, the first were pretty easy, but these are still important to know. Yeah, for sure. All of these are very important verbs. Mostrar. This is like to show. This is to show. Mostro a minha casa. I show my house. Pagare is like to pay. Pago cartão. Ganha is to win. We encountered already. And also this pagar. Pagar is from Italian. Pagar. Pagar. Perder. Perdere is from Italian. To lose. You say perdere. No. Don't mind. To lose. Perdemos o jogo. We are losing the game. But you can also use it for losing weight. Morar is like to die. Moro na Alemannia. I'm dying in Alemania. Oh yeah. So it's pretty much the opposite. Viajar was like from the last episode, to travel. Visitar, to visit. Olhar, one of the first language islands, so pretty easy to look. Olha para aqui, olha para mim. Sentir is sentimental. In Germany you say sentimental sein, to be sentimental. I think you also have this in English, so it's like to feel. So also from the word, I think, sensation. Okay. Abrandar. To slow down. I don't know. Continua. Easy. Continue. We are continuing tomorrow. Parar. Para aqui. Maybe to wait. No, I don't know. To stop. Okay. Lavar, to wash. Lavo as mouse. Maybe. Yeah, this is, I think, the hands. Wash the hands. I wash the hands. Cozinhar. I don't know. To cook. Cuisine, yeah. Okay, this... Yeah, with a little bit more focus, this would have been... derivable. Can I say derivable when I want to say this word? Dieses Wort wäre herleitbar gewesen. This word would have been derivable. The formula is derivable, okay. Limbar, limbo carto. I don't know, limp. Limp is like the foot or the arm. But limbar, to clean. Okay. Maybe, yeah, clean with your limbs. You usually clean with your limbs, not your mouth. Jogar is to play. Jogamos, football. Nadar is like, this is to swim. Alright. A few, but still pretty. German ist ja überschaulich. German. Learn German with me. Manageable. Still manageable. Cantar. to sing. Lasciatemi cantare con la chitarra in mano. Lasciatemi cantare. Sono un italiano. Also, learning a song in your target language is one key, for sure, for sure. We will get to this. Cantar is to sing. Danzar is to dance, pretty much. Rir is to laugh, we encountered this. Chorar, a criança chora. Chorar. I don't know. Maybe like a core, like sing it together. To cry. Ah, okay. Also crazy. Telefonar, to phone, telephone. To call, yeah. Yeah, to telephone. To telephone, yeah, nice. New word found. But I don't think we have to mark this. Conducir, to conduce is like to influence, to drive. Ah, no, yeah. Conduire en français. Sentar, sentate aquí. It's not like to feel, to sit, sentar. Levantar, I think we had lavar, but with E was like to stand up, to get up, okay? But not that easy. Vestir, to dress. Tirar is to pull, to remove, to take. Yeah. When I learned French, I met some young French boys in my city who were there for a little bit camping, and we played football, and they said tir en but, to shoot a goal. Tir en but. So tirar, I think it looked more like to draw, or not to pull. Tirar. Trocar is to touch. Troca-me, you can say troca para mí. No, it's not to touch, it's to change. Trocamos de lugar, okay? Crazy. Seguir is to follow. Segue o camino. Camino is like the way, the path, but this could also be a verb, like caminar. So to walk. Vir is to... Vir. And not to go. To come, okay. Voltar. I think we encountered this already, voltar, but I don't know. To return, okay. Existir, to exist. Pushes. They exist more to, I don't know, acontecer. Maybe now to touch, to happen. Okay. Crer is to create, to believe. Ah, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Explicar, to explain. Aparecer, I don't know, appear. Yeah, this is now nice. Disappear. Accept the idea, to accept, yeah. Recusar, it's like to refuse, yeah. Mudar, entering, to change. All right. Guardar was like to keep, yeah, to keep. Servir is to serve. Experimentar is to experience. To try, yeah. Yeah, I think that's fine. Descobrir is to discover. Sonar is to dream. Decidir is to decide. Alright. So, how many do we have? Let's... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? 5. In German you say 5 in German. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think 11. 11 or 12. 1, 2. So German, okay, now you learn German. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So how many do we have? We have like 30 out of 100. Not bad. Alright. And now I have one little test, okay? Not really a test, but I found this and I think it looks nice and maybe let us neuronale neural pathways create and let us create new neural pathways. Pathways? Yeah, maybe. So, ser, to be, ter, to have, ir, to go, haver, to have. Okay, haver, to possess. Okay, we need to study this little word a little bit. Because to have, estar, to be, poder, can. Fazer, to do, diger. Do you feel? Oh, crazy. So we need to be a member. Alright. Diger, to say. So let's study. We maybe know this, but we see the translation. But maybe ver, to see, saber, to know, dever. Okay, pasar, to pass. Dar, to give. Querer, to want. Ficar, to become. Vir, again. Yeah, okay. I still had the same mistake. This is to come. Wir. This is not derivable from other languages. This is... You have to learn by heart. Or by repetition. Over time. And trusting our subconsciousness. Yeah. So, 3. Chejar. It was Shigo. Chejar. Deixar. Chejar. Okay. Deixar. We encountered also. Encontrar. Barreger. This, I think we already encountered this in a text, in one chapter, but I didn't know. Falar. Levar. To take. Okay, this is not lavar, like to wash. This is levar, to take. Pensar, to think. Apresentar, to present. Yeah, presentar. Conhecer, to know. Viver, to live. Acabar. Acabar. I think, yeah, acabar. Why do I know the word acabar? Why do I know the word acabar? I think I heard it once. Let me check one little thing before we get too political. Acabar. Okay. Don't mind. Yeah. Viver, acabar, pedir, to ask for. Ped. Like a pedo. Like a pedo is asking for to see the feet. Maybe. Abrir. No, there's like a pedo and a pedo. Pedo is like feet and pedo is like for children. Abrir, to open. Like, maybe it looks like the April, and the April is opening. In the April, you can opening the windows. Acontecer. The pronunciation. It's so sad. I think before episode 20 we get a deep dive. Okay? I think in the next episodes we're gonna get a deep dive into pronunciation. Acrescentar. To add, okay. Ajudar, aumentar, aumentare. Okay, this is derivable. Começar, cominciamo. Contar, count, yeah. Anunciar, announce, okay. Colocar, to place. Maybe like a colony. You place a colony. Conseguir, to get. Continuar, alright. Criar, to create. But don't mismatch this word with cre, because I think cre was like to believe, defender, to defend, enviar. Okay. Yeah. Esperar, to expect. Cumprir, to fulfill. Entrar, escrever, explicar. Ganhar, jogar, mostrar, perder. Incluir, yeah, to include. Marcar. Okay. Pagar, to pay. Permitir, to permit, yeah, allow. Precisar, yeah. Realizar, ser. Seguir, yeah. Considerar. Reservar, garantir, prever. Okay, my focus is getting worse. Garantir, prever. Publicar, tentar, attempt, to try, tornar, to render. Usar, referir, revelar, trabalhar, utilizar. I just say the words and probably with the worst pronunciation. Utilizar, vencer, voltar. All right. I think we got a lot of good input from the most common verbs. Now we know how they look the most and yeah, how they approximately look, and we got some new translations. So, we're gonna see us in the next episode. And yeah, obrigado, até a próxima.